Hello, welcome back. In this lesson, we'll be considering authentication versus authorization. So we are going to see why access control fails. Yeah, the truth of the matter is many systems fail not because attackers break in, but because access is granted incorrectly after login. So having a good understanding of the difference between authentication and authorization is critical to secure design. So let's get right into it. What's the sense of this topic? What's the sense of having a good understanding of authorization and authentication? Access control failures in general are at the heart of many breaches. We've seen many breaches happen because of broken access control. Authentication and authorization are often confused. That confusion also leads to insecure systems, and clear separation improves security design. So that's the sense of this lesson. Now, what is authentication? It verifies who a user is. It answers the question, who are you? It is based on credentials. That is, you have to input your username or your password, or maybe your email address and your password. And lastly, it happens before access is granted. Then what are the examples of authentication we have? Authentication uses different proof methods. We can use username and password combinations. We can use one-time passwords. We can use biometric verification, and we can use multi-factor authentication. Let's now move to authorization. What is authorization? Authorization controls what happens after login. It determines what a user can do. It answers the question, what are you allowed to access? It happens after authentication, and it is based on roles and permissions. Let's consider some examples of authorization. Authorization defines boundaries inside systems. So some examples are admin access versus normal user access, read-only versus edit permissions. That is, some users might just have read-only access and some users might be able to edit. Another one is access to specific files or systems, and we also have feature-level access control. There might be some features that a particular user has and another user do not have that. Maybe a manager in a company has access to a particular feature and just an entry-level employee in that same company do not have access to that feature. So what are the key differences between the two? Authentication is about identity, while authorization is about permission. One does not replace the other. So both are required for proper security. What are the common mistakes we make in access control? Many systems fail due to basic design errors. So we shouldn't assume authenticated users are fully trusted. This is a mistake and we must not make it. We also must not grant overly broad permissions. We must not miss authorization checks, and we must not rely on front-end controls. These are some mistakes some people make, and some of these mistakes have led to different breaches. Now let's explain broken authorization. Broken authorization happens after successful login. It is a case where the user logs in correctly and the system fails to restrict actions to some specific features. Then the user accesses data or features they should not, and this is one of the most common web flaws. Here are some real-world examples of broken access control. Broken access control shows up in many forms. It could be users accessing other users' data, normal users performing admin actions, APIs exposing unauthorized endpoints, or privilege escalation scenarios. I've said this earlier and I need to say it again emphatically. Authentication does not equal trust. This means that login alone should never imply full access. Yeah, being logged in does not mean unlimited permission, and every sensitive action should be checked and logged. We must also ensure least privilege in every system. This is very essential, and trust must always be limited. Let's now consider access control in alignment with the core pillars of cybersecurity, which are the CIA triad. Poor access control affects all security goals. Confidentiality is breached through excessive access. Integrity is affected through unauthorized changes. Availability can be impacted through misuse. And weak access control undermines all the three. Why does access control fail? Failures often come from process and design. Applications can grow more complex. This is one of the reasons. Features are added rapidly. In some organizations, some roles are poorly defined. And security sometimes is added too late to some systems. Strong access control is built intentionally, and here are a few you can consider. The first one is always define clear roles. Second one is enforce server-side authorization checks. The third one is apply least privilege by default. And the last one is perform regular access reviews. Let's take a summary of what we've learned in this lesson. This lesson has clarified a critical security distinction. We've seen the difference between authentication and authorization. We've seen that they are not the same, and we've seen that both are required for secure systems. We've also seen that most access failures are authorization failures. And lastly, we've seen that design decisions matter more than just tools. So let's take a test together. The question is, which statement best explains the difference between authentication and authorization? Pause the video, read through the options, pick your option and drop in the comments, then come back to play the video. What is your answer? The correct answer is C. Authentication verifies identity, while authorization controls permission. That's all for this lesson. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do that now. Also, do not forget to share, like, and comment. And thank you.